Hey, good Monday morning. We're getting close to America's birthday, the 4th of July. It's going to be great. And I'm getting ready to set up for the MB here this morning. What a night the Independents had last night. We're going to talk about that. We also have more bluefin tuna and white sea bass and yellowtail information this morning on the MB. And we're going to talk about our 4th of July trip on board the Island Spirit Ventura Sport Fishing. Join us this 4th of July, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And of course, we'll be surf fishing right here on the 6th of July, 10 a.m. We've got that and a lot more. You know what time it is, everybody. Let's get ready for the MB.
Last night and early this morning on board the Independence as they had 33 bluefin tuna, 25 in the 100 to 160 pound class. It doesn't get any better for big fish fishing. The Independence operates out of Point Loma Sport Fishing, and we're fishing the western zone where the big bluefin tuna have been lurking. I just talked to Captain Brian Pfeiffer, and he said it was an incredible night and early morning bite on these giant fish. He is currently setting up to see if they can't get a daytime bite on these big fish. There are currently two areas where the fleet is fishing. One down to the south, about 50 miles from Point Loma, and that's on mostly 40 to 70 pound fish. And then this extraordinarily big fish up in the western zone. Really great fishing going on, and the Independence with a night that these anglers will never ever forget. More on the morning briefing. Don't forget to hit that like button. Stay in touch with all the very latest.
It's about time.
Yes, so we can compete against each other.
Oh, no.
Color.
Hey, Foca. Ven a eso.
No, foca ya, foca ya.
Nice forky. Good one, Paulina.
I can't hold it.
Yeah, you can. That's beautiful.
No le sueltes porque no tengo
Woo! Look at that.
fuerza.
That's a nice fish. Way to go.
I definitely need to up my game the next time I face off with Paulina. Paulina, look out. I'm coming for you next time. Nice yellowtail, my friend.
Here, let me see your match. Got about 150 feet. Keep going. Keep going. Don't do it yet. Okay, go. Go, go, go. Oh, if that don't get bit. Oh, you're rolled on. Oh, oh, oh.
Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. The first day of July, getting awfully close to America's birthday. And man, we've got a lot to cover with you on the MB. We've got some events coming up. The 4th of July, we're up there in Ventura Sport Fishing on the Island Spirit. It's an open party trip. Come on out and join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. Back in at 4. So plenty of time to bring fresh fish to your barbecue, whether it's here in LA area, Orange County area, or up there in the Channel Islands area. You'll make it. You'll be the head of the party with that fresh fish. We'll have a great time. My brother's in from Taiwan, and he always insists that we jump on a sport boat, and we'll be on board the Island Spirit on the 4th of July. Then right here on this beach on the 6th of July at 10 a.m., we're going to do a surf fishing event. They're always a lot of fun. I'll have breakfast burritos. We'll have a little donation box. You can donate, have a burrito, and help us ship more goods to Mexico Lindo. So hopefully you'll be able to make that right here, and I'll give you all the directions here on today's show. Now, we've got a lot to talk about. Man, some conking going on that big bluefin tuna. Remarkable fishing on board the Independence. The rest of the boys are fishing that 40 to 70 pound bluefin tuna. We'll have information on that. Also, south of the border, we're going to look at Ensenada, see how they're doing. down there in that area? Has there been any more white sea bass? How about those big yellows at San Clemente Island? And of course, we'll watch the Channel Islands. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh, I needed that. My voice was starting to go on me, man. I feel 100% better. Think I'm finally just about over that 2-week nonsensical flu. It really kicked my butt. Hit that like button if you don't mind. Please share these videos with a friend. And of course, subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. Tick the little bell. You'll be notified when there's new content. And of course, you can follow us on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Instagram, TikTok, and on Facebook, where we are for you every single day. Last night was a big night for the independents. We're going to get into that in a moment, but let's go south of the border to the beautiful coastal town of Ensenada. 70-mile drive down the coast. It's a gorgeous drive if you've never done it before. And down there, there's still some very good fishing going on. The bluefin tuna bite is very hit and miss right now. Sometimes you get them, most times you do not. There's still some big bonita offshore of Ensenada, and more kelp patty yellowtail showing up, but no big numbers. It's not like something you can rely on. Now, in the Bay Area, there's more yellows that pop up. They're up and they're down, they're under the birds, they're hard to get on, but when you do, you throw a surface iron on that fish, and you've got a very good chance, like our friend Paulina did just the other day, with those yellowtails. So once again, some pretty good yellowtail action. There's flurries of barracuda, there's that big bonita, and then if you just want to stay local, man, that bite is excellent. Sand bass, calico bass, sheephead, whitefish, shallow water rockfish, occasional halibut, occasional white sea bass. Great action, lots of fun. Man, I highly recommend that you give that a thought. I know you want to get offshore and catch a big bluefin tuna, but a lot of times staying local is a great way to make it happen. Or you do a combo trip. Go stick your nose out there, give it a few hours. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Come in and fish all of that variety you have in Ensenada right now. So many great operators down there. Botes Juanitos is one of them, and fishing with my friend Foca. I love fishing with the guy. He is very fishy. He works hard. He's got a work ethic second to none. And of course, he's Paulina's favorite captain. Foca out of Botes Juanitos in Ensenada. Just one of many great operators down there. All right, let's bring you up here to the bluefin tuna area. We got to start with the night the independents had. They had 33 bluefin tuna, 25 of those fish from 100 to 160 pound superior grade fish. A couple of other boats got in on it. Many other boats got in on some outstanding fishing. And man, you better be tackled up properly. Nothing less than 100-pound specter, 200-pound bite leaders. It seems like those smaller profile jigs are still working really well, but some nights you're going up to a 400-gram jig, depending on wind and current. It's a gorgeous ocean, as you can see, and even offshore, it's going to be much of the same. We're going to be looking at fantastic weather on the 4th of July for our Ventura sport fishing trip, which I will outline for you in a moment. But back to this bluefin tuna. It's big, it's tough, and it's really biting well at night right now. Sometimes that smaller profile jig from 180 to 250 grams, 350 grams have come in and worked very, very well. The HD jigs by West Coast Jiggers, the Daiwa SK lures have been super effective in this bite. It was flat, great fishing last night on the Independence. As I mentioned, there were other boats that got in on it. Let me lay this out for you. There is two zones of fish. There's a western zone up towards San Clemente Island. That's where that big fish is, and the Independence is fishing that here in the daytime. There are daytime fish, kite fish, and also some sinker fish up that way. Not a lot, but sometimes you can pick off several of those big fish, especially kite fishing. So you've got that zone, and then about 50 miles from Point Loma, you have the other zone of mostly 40 to 70 pound fish, and nothing wrong with that size fish. I never ever dreamt that we'd come to a point in time where we would be talking about bluefin tuna in the 40 to 70 pound class as if they were small fish. But here we are in 2024 in Southern California for this world-class fishery that we now have here. It is remarkable. Speaking of that 40 to 70 pound class, Max, I talked to him early this morning. He said, Phil, not bad. We ended up with 22 bluefin tuna last night in the 40 to 70 pound class. Said they had some opportunities that just didn't come together for them. So they had some lost fish and some tough battles that resulted in breakoffs. So again, check your tackle. Listen to your crew. Do exactly what they are telling you. They are there to help you, and they will get you through some really awful tangles, which will occur in a nighttime bite on big bluefin tuna. I'm calling them big now. On this grade of fish, on any grade of fish you're fishing at night, it's inevitable. You're going to have some tangles. So keep paying attention to your crew. And if you see a guy that's hooked on a fish, don't go drop your jig anywhere near that guy. You know, when those fish are circling, you see them turning that circle. Sometimes that circle is way more exaggerated than you think it is. You're 6 feet away and drop, and that circle, when that fish circles, wraps your jig up in that mess, and you don't want to do that because you'll screw the guy with the fish, and you'll also take yourself out of the game. So get up to the bow or get off somewhere else, or pay attention to the captain, because he may say, hey guys, there's nothing under us anymore. We need to get this fish on the deck, and then we'll move on and find another school. So pay attention, talk to your crew, get to know them. That makes all the difference in the world. If I had to put a number on it for the fleet on that 40 to 70 pound fish, I would say it was anywhere from 5 to 25 fish last night for the night bite. Not wide open by any stretch of the imagination, but okay fishing for some guys and then pretty slow for others. And that really has been the bite out of San Diego. You know, it's been terribly slow on one boat and then damn good fishing on another boat. So you have this myriad of different experiences because there are so many boats and so many experiences as a result of it. Now, on the 1 day, full day range, full day means you leave in the morning, you come back in the evening, showing some signs of life. Man, you can see the fish. There is a tremendous volume of fish, but those little devils, the bluefin tuna, that has been reluctant to bite in the daytime, and that is continuing right now. The San Diego had 5 bluefin tuna yesterday, but they saw fish everywhere. Tons of fish for the Seaforth-based full-day boat, San Diego. They saw a lot. So once again, just about everything's working. Fly lining, however, those fish have been a little bit more finicky lately. Would love you to fly line with 40, but if you can't get a bite on that, you need to drop your fluorocarbon, your GT4 fluorocarbon by Promar Ahi, down to 25 pound and fish small hooks. If that's what it calls for, that's what you're gonna have to do. And if you can't get a bite, you can't catch a fish. So many times these fish have been very, very finicky. Sinker rig fish, you can get away with 60, 80 pound. That's what you want to do when you're sinker rig fishing. And also very effective have been the Daiwa Sakana or Colt Sniper, dart jigs. Those have been very effective here, also here recently. 5 on board the San Diego, 8 bluefin tuna on the Grande. Little bit more kelp patty yellowtail showing up in the counts. And also those big bonita loom around there. Some days you get a good hit on them, some days you get 1 or 2. So once again, everybody is focused on the bluefin tuna, and we've got to hope that that's going to turn on here in the daytime very, very soon. Gorgeous morning here in Southern California. Great surf fishing morning. I see my guys are back up here. Some Vietnamese fishermen that when they show up here, they're putting the herd on them. They are excellent fishermen and do a great job. So hopefully that's going to continue. All right. Let's get into the island situation now. We'll start at the Coronado Islands, where there's been some good flashes of yellowtail. The Mission Belle has switched over from offshore to the islands. Yellows, some flurries of barracuda, every once in a while, not consistent, some bonita, and some really good calico bass fishing backed up with the rockfish. Of course, San Clemente Island, we still have that early morning bite going on. Dropper loop, there's squid there. You're using that squid on a dropper loop, and that results in some pretty good fishing at times and some okay fishing at other times. Again, a lot of that fish has been big grade. It ranges, I'm going to say, from 15 to 40 plus pounds. There's been some monsters like Guadalupe Island size yellowtail taken over in that neck. There was a Thunderbirds had some really great trips here recently, up there around 40 on the yellowtail on some of their trips. The Freedom, Michael Limon, was out with Grandpa Dan Lightfoot, and they had a great time on board the Freedom out of 22nd Street Landing. 12 yellowtail. They said it was pretty tough fishing for the most part on board the Freedom, but they did their best, filled in with some rockfish over there. The El Dorado with 32 yellowtail at San Clemente Island. So they got a little pop on the fork over there. Again, you fish that yellow in the early morning hours. I'm going to say from 4 a.m. till 7, and then it's over. That's all she wrote on that. And then you take off, and you can fish that live squid for some superior calico bass fishing, yellowtail. Also, the yellows in the daytime seem to want to bite the sardine. So do the bass, so you can fish that. So you want to have some 20, 25-pound tests to fish with fluorocarbon preferred. And you can go to the heavier when you're fishing the squid, but you're going to have to go a little bit lighter when you're fishing the Dino. So not bad at San Clemente Island. Santa Barbara Island, a few yellows and white sea bass. Up in the Channel Islands, a little bit of halibut and white sea bass. Still seeing a ton of fish that just don't want to bite. But man, I'll tell you, I skipped over Catalina. I'll go back to that in a moment. But once again, plenty of great rock fishing up there and some flurries of barracuda. There's been some barracuda. Sea lions have been a pain in the neck with that. There's been some good calico and sand bass fishing up there. So that is also something that we can keep our eyes on for you all. The Aloha Spirit had 4 white sea bass. The Gray Light had a halibut and 1 white sea bass. Ranger 85, 13 halibut, and a white sea bass. And then all those guys had plenty of rockfish. Those were some of the better sea bass scores up there in that neck of the woods. Don't forget the Endeavor, how hard it is to get on that boat. And we have some great trips coming up for you with our friend Eddie Berrigan. He's got several great charters that you're going to want to become part of. He's got a September trip and an October trip. Just give Eddie a call and get filled in on how you can jump on the Endeavor, because that is a hard boat to get on. It's always booked up. Tucker McCombs does such a fabulous job. And Eddie and his daughter Bella are 2 of our very favorite Friedman Adventure family members. I highly recommend you give Eddie a call and try to get on board the Endeavor. While I'm on the Channel Islands, I'm coming back to Catalina in a moment. We will be on the Island Spirit on the 4th of July, celebrating America's birthday, catching some fish, having some fun with all of you, and then going back and being the hit of the barbecue with that fresh fish. That's going to be a lot of fun. All you have to do is give them a call at Ventura Sport Fishing, 805-676-3474, or you can book online at www.venturasportfishing.com. Give them a call. Lupe going by in the background. Always great to see her here on the beach. So there you have it. We'll be on board the Island Spirit. We would love to see you all there. Robert Graber, what are you doing that day? You're probably booked up on the 4th, but man, it would be great to see you and your son on that trip, as well as anybody else out there watching. Catalina Island, kind of okay fishing, I'm going to call it. You know, there's been some big sea bass hits at Cat. We're seeing more and more of that this year than we have in the past. But overall, you know, you're picking at the bass, you're picking at the rockfish, you get occasional halibut and yellowtail, and then all of a sudden a big flurry on white sea bass out of nowhere, and then it goes back to that same kind of picking. Pursuit out of white sea bass yesterday, and then some bass and rockfish and blue perch, that kind of a bite going on. Several other boats that were over there had similar type scores. The El Patron out of Long Beach Sport Fishing's had some pretty good bass fishing here recently. They go ultra limited load. So I think at most they have 22 people on there, and you get a good shot at the calico bass. They've had a few barracuda, and then the possibility of a white sea bass, halibut, something like that also. www.longbeachsportfishing.org to get on the El Patron. Unfiled taxes, naughty you. Get those taxes out of your hair by calling Tim Marquez at A Best Income Tax. Tim's been doing this for 35 years. He'll take care of you like nobody else will or can. And heating and air conditioning needs. Yeah, it's getting hot, man. And if you have air conditioning needs right now, you want to turn to John Lopez and Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning. John does it better than anybody. And he's a Friedman Adventures family member, which means he's trusted and will take great care of you. Give John a call today and say hi for Friedman Adventures. All right, so that's your island situation. Now, coastal, man, there's been some outstanding calico bass fishing down along the San Diego Kelp. Dana Wharf has experienced it. Oceanside seems like a southern bite right now, and it's been flat, wide open on the calico bass. The Daily Double, the New Seaforth, just to name a few. Those guys that are fishing local bass have been doing fantastic with an occasional big sea bass or two, or a big yellowtail or two. They get a few exotics kicked in on their accounts, but the bass bite's been spectacular. It's not only been on bait, but it's been on the surface iron, which is an absolute ball. Nice slow to medium retrieve on the surface iron. And man, those bass blow up on that jig. It's a lot of fun. And of course, on the plastic lures also, it's been flat. Fun fishing and really, really excellent. So hopefully you'll be able to take advantage of that. Up in this neck of the woods, I keep my fingers crossed that the barracuda are going to show up and stick around because, man, when I was a kid, we'd have a barracuda bite for months and months. Now they show up, they bite for a few days, and adios, they're gone. We haven't even had that yet as things are slowly developing here in 24. You know, we pointed out the La Paz Dorado showed up very late, way down the Baja Peninsula, 700 miles or so. And we've seen it in Ensenada where things are developing slower. And here, definitely, we are seeing that. There's a lot of these local boats out of Davies Lock or in Newport Beach and Long Beach and San Pedro that are still fishing, sculpin, whitefish, and that kind of thing. Nothing wrong with that. Great table fare and filling up your sacks with that. But you would suspect that we'd be catching more and more bass. Redondo's had some good bass fishing on their twilight runs, as has Marina del Rey. So hopefully things are going to get better here very, very soon. By the way, Gary Webb is a great Friedman Adventures family member. Gary, good to see you. He was showing me a break that he says is so juicy for an albacore run this year. And man, it's July now. So I'm starting to teeter on another year of a bad prediction. If that albacore is going to show up, you would think it would be in the next week or so. So we'll find out if I once again have blown it. One of these years I'm going to have to say, albacore, that's the stupidest thing anybody could ever think is going to happen. And then, of course, it'll be wide open. Maybe I should do that and see if that happens to work. But Gary pointed that out. Thank you, Gary, for that. We appreciate it. If you're going to order anything from Promar Ahi, and who wouldn't? They've got that new GT4 floral coming. They've got some great new jigs for fishing inside the harbors and the bays for spotted bay bass and sand and calico bass. Go to promarahi.com and then put in FA at checkout, and you'll get 10% off. Who wouldn't want to get 10% off? And that helps us a great deal. And don't forget, helping the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel is something we deeply appreciate. When you hit that like button, when you share these videos, but also purchasing some Friedman Adventures merch, that would be deeply appreciated. If you would do that, it would make my day complete. Really hope you're able to do that. All right, so along the coast, we kind of covered the Channel Island area. There's flurries of barracuda. There's more sand and calico bass. It is not wide open. And then there's shallow water rockfish, kind of those combo trips. That is what I suspect we'll be doing on the islands. But I just like the fact that we're going to have gorgeous weather, very little wind, so that solar warming should come into effect. And who knows, maybe we'll get a good barracuda bite along with some excellent rock fishing with Daniel Hottaway on the 4th of July with Friedman Adventures. That is going to be a lot of fun. All right, let's talk the surf, because on July 6th right here, we're going to have your breakfast burritos ready for you. I'm sure Michael Limon will be running up and down the beach. Wait a minute, he's going to Arizona on the 4th of July. Dan, are you guys going to make that or not? Oh, and hey, Tackle Shop Confessions tonight with Sam De La Torre. Don't miss that live show at 6 p.m. Here in the surf, we continue to see some really excellent yellowfin croaker fishing. Throwing a little chrome 3/4 ounce crocodile or a Castmaster is a great way to get a bite. I like that 4-hour window, 2 hours before the high until 2 hours after the high for fishing here. There's been some spot fin croaker, but you're going to fish bait for that. And of course, you can get all that bait and everything else you need down at Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California. Go down there and buy that ruler that they have to measure your catch with, and you're automatically in their monthly giveaway with a brand new, beautiful custom surf fishing rod. All you have to do is catch the biggest fish, and you'll get all the instructions down there at Big Fish Bait and Tackle. Some barred perch also in here, more and more corbina starting to show up. When I first came down here, those white termbirds were picking away with a lot of enthusiasm, but I haven't seen them here during the morning briefing. I've heard a few, so maybe you know more than I do about what's been going on behind me. But again, we have seen some outstanding surf fishing going on. Occasional halibut on the Lucky Crab lure. And on July the 6th, we'll all be meeting up here 10 a.m. High tide is 11:20, 30 that day. So perfect. We'll fish from 10 to 1. You want to come early, have at it, my friends. You want to stay late, have at it. But we'll be down here at 10 with your breakfast burritos. Who knows? Doug Tilk might show up. If he shows up, there'll be donuts also. And we'll have a little donation box. If you can't afford it, don't worry. No one's going to monitor it. So you can put a donation if there you want for your breakfast burrito. Or if you just want to help our efforts in shooting more stuff down to Mexico, medical supplies and clothing, and so much more, we would deeply appreciate that. And hopefully we'll have some merch down here also for you to purchase and save on the shipping. So down there on the corner of Anderson and Pacific Coast Highway, there's that big tower, okay? That big tower, you want to park somewhere around there. You can also park across the street, across on the other side of Pacific Coast Highway. And then you're going to walk past the tower out onto the beach, and then you're going to make a right-hand turn and start walking down. And there's a playground. We'll be somewhere in front of the playground. So just keep walking. You go past a bunch of houses, and then you'll see a playground. I should probably show that to you. Yeah, why not? Well, I think I can pull this off, right? So let's see here. Let's go down to the tower. See the tower down there? You're going to walk out on the beach down there, and then you're going to hang a right, and you're going to walk down past all of these houses. 10-minute walk. It's good for you. Get your steps in. And right around that playground, we might be a little closer to the tower, or we might be a little bit further down this way. But you'll find us no problem at all. 10 a.m. on July the 6th. That will be a lot of fun. I guarantee you that. All right. Let's hope I can stand in front of the camera now to wind this thing up. So don't forget, July the 6th, that's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to do that with you all. Don't forget, you can get on board the Endeavor by calling Eddie Berrigan. Give Eddie a call right now. And, of course, we are going to be watching everything for you. Independence is trying to get a bite on that big bluefin tuna right now. We'll be watching everything else for you. And we will see you on the 4th of July on board the Island Spirit out of Ventura Sport Fishing. As always, it's a pleasure to be with you. It's a pleasure to spend time with you. I deeply appreciate you spending time with us. And if I don't see you on the 4th of July in the Island Spirit or the 6th of July here on the beach for our surf fishing event, it's going to be a lot of fun. Even if you don't surf fish, come on down and hang out with the crew for a little while. It'll be a lot of fun. And if I don't see you at those events, I hope to see you really, really soon. Have a great day, and thanks again, my friends.